So dating apps. You're either swiping for love, swiping for fun, or swiping while Netflix is asking if you're still watching. Some of them even guarantee you'll find love, or at least a good time for the night. A little pay to play action. If you're into that kind of thing. I mean, I know I'm not. This what romance really is, like swiping left and right. Is there a chance to find like that poetic justice kind of love, that Love Jones kind of vibe? Like, where's that Jodeci kind of love? Like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of vibe. That, ooh, yeah, that Destiny's Child kind of cater to you kind of thing. Like, where can we find those people at? I know I'm not the only one thinking these things. Nah, it's not just me. Let's get into it. What's up, y'all? It's MoTo, and welcome to Nah, It's Not Just Me podcast. Listen, this is a judgment free zone. We're going to talk about it, simply put. All right. So, episode one, dating apps. Oh, man, I don't even know where to start. As a matter of fact, I do know where to start. We're going to start around 2020. I mean, I know dating apps have been around for a long time. They went from online websites to, you could possibly say like Black Planet. Some even might say MySpace. Some might say even if you had BBM, not big booty, but more like BlackBerry Messenger. If you had BlackBerry Messenger, you had a sidekick. Those were kind of sort of places where you would go to interact and maybe, find somebody that you met in a chat room or somebody that you bumped into and y'all swap BBMs or y'all was in a group together and whatever the case may be and y'all decided to slide off and talk about it. But after that died down, yeah, you had the Match.coms and the eHarmonies and all that stuff. I don't even think it was that popping then. Like, maybe people found love back then. And it was more of a thing that we were accustomed to because of the other social media platforms. But what about around COVID? I think that's when it really, really went through the roof. Yeah, you had Instagram, you had Twitter, and all those things, but I think those were just social media platforms where people were able to connect with a whole different network of people. And now, all right, yeah, oh, I met this person, and oh, yeah, that person was cool and stuff, and yeah, we went on a couple of dates, and yeah, oh, that's my girl now. I met her on Twitter, or I met her, slid in her DM, or whatever the case may be, or I liked her picture, whatever, his or her, it doesn't matter. However, I think dating apps, like the apps itself, the consistent ability to have that right there in your palm of your hands around 2020 when we was on super lockdown and everybody, it was like, oh my God, you go outside, you can't get close to nobody because it's crazy and you might die because of COVID. God rest everybody's soul that had passed away from COVID. But that was a really weird time in life, right? So what we was fiending for? Connection. Connection was the thing we was fiending for. And I think it was a marketing scheme, if you ask me. Make sure everybody had their phone in their hand. Oh yeah, we're gonna give you connection. We're gonna give you our dating apps. That's when you started seeing commercials for dating apps. Like I remember seeing Hinge.com have a commercial. And I'm like, what? And yeah, they were promoting the fact that their goal is to get you to delete the app. I know a bunch of people that probably deleted that app, reinstalled that app, deleted it again, reinstalled it again. But I think, like I said, COVID was that time where literally, you literally would have your. I know, shit. I ain't gonna lie. I was on a couple of dating apps. You know what I'm saying? I had them on my phones. Black and Hinge. Really, I really stuck on Black and Hinge. BLK for some people. And I think it was just because, yeah, it wasn't like the Tinders and the all the Bumbles and the with Plenty of Fish and all that stuff. I felt like there was at the time I thought there was a little bit more substance on those apps. Then lo and behold, that wasn't the case. Like it was crazy. Like and not like the women were crazy. I'm not talking about that, but just there was different things happening on there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there was that pay to play type of action happening. And, you had people that, genuinely that was on there trying to find love. And then you had other people that was just out there having a good time. And then there was just a lot of weird things happening. Like, you're getting just requests from everybody and likes from everybody. And at some point, it was like, yo, this is a little bit overbearing. We might have to try to figure out how to do something different, because this is like, I gave it a couple of shots. But before we get into some of my horror stories, and I don't even really want to call them horror stories, but some of them was like horrible, not like horror in the sense of scary, just like horrible experiences. Like, this could have been way better, or I could have did without this. Let's talk some numbers. You know what I'm saying? I'm a factual person. I like to talk about fact. I like to talk with fact rather than, what I'm saying, heavily opinion based. Though, like I was talking to my homegirl, I said, I sent a couple of clips that I did, and I said, at least come off as biased or unbalanced. And I gave the other option of, or do they come off with like cognitive reasoning? Yes, it's opinionated, but there's cognitive reasoning within it. Like, it's not just me just being emotionally opinionated. It's just not. I've put together a couple of different things here to say, all right, this actually makes sense. So therefore, I'm going to speak on it from my perspective, because I like to listen to other people's perspectives and see where they're coming from. It's good for dialogue. It's good for understanding, right? However, I'm not just spewing these things. I'm just really like taking my time, and I'm a Googler. I Google a lot of stuff. Like, shit, I got my iPads out ready right now just to Google. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna sit here and spit things that are just my opinion without fact, or fact based opinions. It's gonna have to make sense. Nah, it's not just me. It's not one of those podcasts where we're just gonna be saying the things that we want because we think it sounds right. Nah, we're gonna talk about it, and you know what I'm saying. We're gonna find as much fact that we can behind the topic, and then we'll have an educated dialogue. We're not just gonna be sitting here arguing about nonsense. You know what? We're gonna go on Instagram live right quick, right before we start talking. Hi, everybody on Instagram. All the zero people that's in the room right now. But eventually we're gonna get to at least 5 people in the room. We're gonna get to 5. But I'll be on Instagram live. My phone number will be up, and if you want, you call in on the topics that we're talking about, and there it is. That's how we talk. We create the dialogue, and essentially build with one another. You feel me? Episode 1, we are talking about dating apps. Are they a gift? Are they a curse? I think realistically, dating apps have good properties. However, they don't really add to the ability to get to know somebody. It probably just best it opens up the network where you can, really branch out, because, nowadays most people, shit, you can go outside, but it's unsafe outside. People are getting killed, and there's people getting stabbed, and don't take the train, and driving is crazy. Everything, there's always a reason not to be outside. However, people still go outside, and with it, is it within hopes of finding somebody? Maybe if that's what you're trying to do. But those that don't go outside, they tend to want to be on dating apps, and that's cool. Dating apps are cool. Like I said, it opens up the network. Now, are they a gift or are they a curse? I'm gonna lean more so on the curse side. I feel like dating apps have taken away the opportunity or the ability to just link up or go out and actually have a face-to-face conversation with somebody, right? Or meet somebody on the street, meet somebody in a bar, meet somebody at a restaurant, the library, coffee shop, wherever. Just having that natural interaction with people. I feel like dating apps has, yes, it's broadened the the scope or the pool, which the pool is full. It's full of poop. It is nasty. It's nasty work in that pool. The dating pool is horrible right now. However, has it given people the opportunity to meet much more, and like have a broader spectrum of people that you can meet? Yes, 100%. But the quality versus the quantity, uh-uh. It's no good. It's no good. And I'm not just, spewing that without fact. Like I said, I like to be very factual. So I was Googling, because I'm a Googler. I'm going to Google everything. It's Mr. Moto, and it's not just me podcast. I want to thank my sponsors, Camp What About Us. If you've never been to a dope adult summer camp, this is the summer camp you got to go to. All right. I'm not even kidding. I'm talking about everything from wellness, having a great time, fitness, great activities. I'm talking about that makes you feel like you're a kid, that type of nostalgia. If you ever went to summer camp, I know I didn't. I'm Caribbean. My Haitian parents was not with it. They was like, summer camp side. What's summer camp? No, 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 no. Summer camp, go in the backyard. That's what we got. But this is your chance now to experience that. All right. So tap in campwhataboutus.com. It's going to be June 13th to June 15th this year, 2025. Make sure you're there. Oh man, it's going to be a movie, because it's been a movie every time we did it. Every time, every time. It's like 2 years now. This is the third year. You got to be here on the third one. Third time's a charm. You got to pull up. All right. Camp What About Us? It's the adult summer camp you don't want to miss. Tap in. If you're tuning in right now, this is It's Not Just Me podcast. Mr. Moto. This podcast is about talking about the things that I know I'm not the only person thinking about. And right now we're talking about dating apps. And dating apps are, in my opinion, a curse. But like I said, according to Pew Research, 10% of couples in the United States, 300 million people, only 10% can say they are either in a committed relationship, they are married, or living with their partner. And granted, there's a caveat. It's not like a heavily researched thing, because a lot of the dating apps don't put out that kind of data. Because of course, if they told you it didn't work, you wouldn't be on there. 10%. That's horrible. And they're not gonna report that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it doesn't really work like we say it works. It just doesn't. They're not gonna do that, because they want to keep y'all on there. And it's like catnip for cats, man. Like, you hear that notification bell, you go running. Some people, it's like an ego boost. It's predominantly men on dating apps. I think there's a multitude of reasons for that. It's like a freaking it's like a freaking pool. Like, if you take 100 shots, you probably gonna hit 25. And some people don't mind that. Some people don't mind hitting 25%. However, again, quality over quantity. The pool is full, but the amount of quality in these pools, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like, 10%. That's not a great percentage of wins. Like, you like the New York Jets. Ouch. But yeah, you're like the New York Jets, or even the Dallas Cowboys, because we hate the Dallas Cowboys. Just throwing that out there. Anywho, so dating apps, in my opinion, curse. Some people might say they're a gift. Maybe the 10% of the Americans that say that they met their partner through social media will say it was a gift. Maybe they were the lucky ones, but I don't know. I think there's a couple of things that cause me not to look at a dating app and say, hey, this is where we could find success. Let's start it off. One, the profile. Let's start with the profile. Some people might be genuine and say, all right, I'm going to put, this is me, this is who I am, and this is what no, it's an ad. Who, McDonald's don't tell you exactly what they put in their food, but they put something enticing enough to get you to say, yeah, I want McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, people are going to sell themselves, right? So, as human beings, the first thing we see is the person. We don't say, "Oh man, I fell in love with your mind and it was all about your thought." No, man. The first thing you see is them. So, it's the physical attraction. Like, "Oh, okay, that person checks a box, two boxes, three boxes, whatever." So, one, they get you with the profile. Boom. You're locked in. I'm not going to lie, fellas, we fall for the bait. We fall for the bait. It's what it is. It's an age old thing. But when we go into these spaces, these apps and whatever, the ratio of great substance to it's just there, it's not good. 10%. 10% of wins. That's 10%. The proof is in the numbers. A lot of what is on these dating apps, which I feel like they're social media platforms as well, is a facade. It's like, this is what I'm selling myself as this persona right now. And yeah, hence why you got people like out here stealing other people's pictures to catfish other people because they're probably scared of being themselves. Or they just don't look at themselves like, this is it. Somebody's gonna want me. No, they might look at themselves as nobody wants me. So I need to put on this is what I look like. Whether it be they emulate an artist or they emulate just somebody else that they think is like the most gorgeous person on the planet or the most handsome person on the planet, all because you don't want to be yourself. So the profile picture is literally like the first, it's your opening. However, your skepticism might start from there because I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of filtered pictures out there, like a lot heavily filter based pictures, so that when you do meet said person, and now ladies, y'all get the percentage on this one, y'all don't be looking like what y'all say y'all looking like. And you know, a brother might get away with, yeah, he not as tall as he said he was, or he hat fished you and you thought he had waves, but nah, he's sporting a baldy underneath that fitted cap. However, on y'all end, it's like, whoa, you got loads of makeup on. You are not anything you said you look like. And whoa, you got about 20 plus pounds. And why you was always taking the pictures from the neck up and never the neck down? Doesn't make any sense. So the profile picture might make or break you and cause your skepticism from Jump Street. However, if you get past the profile picture, cool. Now you get to the bio. The bios used to have me in tears because it's like, all right, yes, this is your opening. Be yourself. Say what you want. Floor is yours. Some people would have like, yo, a good read. Like, all right, you giving me a little background so that if there is interest, there will be more of a ability to break into a conversation because you're giving me some substance to work with. Then you got the ones where it's bare minimum, might have a picture of themselves and like a picture of a cat or something, or cartoon pictures or something that's just like, wait, what are you on this dating app for? Like, because that doesn't even make any sense. Why would you put these pictures up? Like, you don't got a friend that's telling you to, like, you should really, if you really on this, like, be on this for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that looks silly. No, nobody's going to take you serious. But, some people might not have those friends. They just might not. It's Mr. Moto, and it's not just me podcast. I want to thank my sponsors, Camp What About Us. If you've never been to a dope adult summer camp, this is the summer camp you got to go to. All right. I'm not even kidding. This is your chance now to experience that. All right. So tap in campwhataboutus.com. It's going to be June 13th to June 15th this year, 2025. Make sure you're there. Oh, man. It's going to be a movie. We just out here, Nah, it's not just me podcast. Like I said, these are also uh, my opinions, but there's a lot of cognitive reasoning behind it. A lot. I've well thought out. Experiences are behind it as well. So feel free to chime in. Do what you got to do. Yeah, a cat. What's up, Kim? Oh, yeah, a cat. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the dating apps they've come to a point where their purpose at one point in time, and I think during COVID it did help a lot of people find companionship. I feel like a lot of people were going through the withdrawal of having human contact, like that person to person contact, that ability to just touch a person. That the closest thing that you had was these social media platforms and these dating apps. And now you were able, if you were in New York, you were able to connect with somebody that's in, let's say, Boston, and you're like, all right, well, the COVID rate is pretty low out in Boston, or it's not that high. Maybe I'll take the risk and go meet this person, and boom, you that risk that you took, you met that person, you met your person, and you were part of that 10%. The rest of that 90% were either out there just living their best lives, shooting the shots, sinking some buckets, using some of that little 1400. Shout out to the 1400. No shout out to Trump though. But they was taking that and they was flying around, flying people out and flying them back and forth. First of all, nobody told you shouldn't do that because that's against the law. No Diddy, and that's what got Diddy. Just don't be flying nobody out. You want somebody to come enjoy your time and your space. Have them fly themselves out because that's illegal, and then you could accommodate room and board, if you will. But don't be flying nobody out because you can get arrested for that. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know. I am just letting you know. Listen, no Diddy. But during that COVID era, a lot of companionship did happen, and since tons of situationships came to fruition and entanglements left and right, it was just crazy. It was a crazy time, and what was supposed to help actually aided in that era of just a hot freaking mess, and what caused the dating, another reason why the dating pool became so horrible. So you're looking at these profile pictures, and you go from the profile, you get past the profile picture, you swipe right, you said, all right, cool. Or before you swipe right, you read the profile, and the profile's reading, and you're like, all right, well, that profile's all right. Oh, they into this, and oh, they into that. Oh, they into some mommy. Oh, they religious. Okay. Oh, they atheists. All right, that might be somebody's bop. Might be somebody's bop. Some people might want a Catholic, and some people might want a Christian and Muslim. There was opportunities. You could sector off exactly what you want. If you wanted a person that didn't have a child yet, you could put that. If you wanted whatever religion, city, state, distance, whatever, you had the opportunity to do all these things. So these people are utilizing all these things. You're now looking and you say, I bet this person fits my parameters. I'm gonna swipe right. I swipe right. Boom. So now you're like, all right, who's gonna say hey first? Who's gonna not say hey? Does hey? Oh, some people say, don't hey me. I'm not a horse, or don't hey me. If you don't got nothing more than hey to say, how do you start a conversation? You can start with hello, hey, how you doing, whatever. Everything started to become a thing, or like everybody's preference. The standards were listed. Like, oh, I don't want. What was the one that I read? It reads off princess treatment only. Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. You're supposed to treat a woman like a princess. That's what you eventually. But out the gate, just be chivalrous, be a gentleman, be cordial, be kind. But no, this required princess treatment. Okay, all right, no problem. Princess treatment. Boom. What else? If you're not trying to go out and get to know me, keywords, go out and get to know me. Don't waste my time. It's giving brokey. You get a lot of those. Not gonna lie. That be a turnoff for a man that is looking to genuinely connect with somebody. And when it comes out the gate that if you're not looking to spend on me, you're a brokey. Don't waste my time. Listen, to each his own. But that, if you really think about it, who's sounds like you're the brokey. It's Mr. MoTo, and it's not just me podcast. I want to thank my sponsors, Camp What About Us. If you've never been to a dope adult summer camp, this is the summer camp you got to go to. All right, I'm not even kidding. This is your chance now to experience that. All right, so tap in campwhataboutus.com. It's going to be June 13th to June 15th this year, 2025. Make sure you're there. Oh man, it's going to be a movie. That was just off the swipe. I was like, oh wow, this is horrible. It was a couple of hey, how you doings on a daily basis, and then after that got boring because, like, again, I'm gonna ask questions. I'm a very inquisitive person, but as we speak on a daily basis, I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to, study. Like, that's what I think. A lot of people don't study the people that they're interested in. Like, at the end of the day, the work, lack of better terms, study is what you're doing. You're getting to know this person. You get to know so that at the end of the day, you you make your best assessment as to, do you go past this level or on to the next, or no, this is where we stop. So we're pretty good on this. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, I agree. Going out doesn't always mean spending money. Wholeheartedly agree. I feel like going out means going out and doing something of substance. Going out and maybe, yeah, having a cup of coffee, or, grabbing a quick bite to eat, and, taking a walk in the park and just having a conversation, or, just doing something that causes an interaction amongst the two of you. I think that's where we're supposed to utilize dating apps out the gate, and gradual, like, especially from you didn't even meet this person in person. It's digital. So yeah, this is the opening gates of, hey, how you doing? Light banter, light conversation, and then you'll say, all right, would you like to go out for a cup of coffee, a slice of pizza, uh, whatever, something light, something that's not going to require you to be there for an extended amount of time that you might not want to be there for, because again, this is like 50-50 that you'll either go with this or not go with this. On these apps, women are very direct, which is fine. You could be very direct and let a person know exactly what you want and exactly what you're into. People just have to know, we want people that aren't our people. That's not the person for us. However, we fall for the facade that we're looking at, that yeah, that's that person. That person probably doesn't like you. You're probably not for that person. And understanding that is great. It helps you navigate literally pretty much the rest of your relationship journey, because now you look at the people that are for you. I think we're just doing it wrong. So dating apps can be good, right? But right now, the way I look at them, they're like the worst thing ever, because I think, one, it brings out the fake person, the one that creates this facade of whom they are, and now they sell it, they market it to the world as, this is, I'm this person, and come date me. And they, again, it could be men or women, because men be, y'all be faking the funk too, fellas. Be faking the funk with, from the hat fishing to capping about, you're bragging, you boast, and you talk about all the things that you got and all the things you're gonna do. And sometimes it's just to hit. Listen, if you just want to hit, just tell them. Be direct. Some of them might want to be down with that because they on there for that too. But if you're out here capping and talking about, yeah, I'm gonna do this for you, and and sweetheart, listen, I'm gonna fly you here, I'm gonna do that, and or you, after you hit, you don't even pay them no mind no more. Just let them know off rip. Yeah, I'm just trying to slice it. What we doing? You with it or you not? Don't fake the funk. That shit corny. Just keeping it real. Ladies, they should just make an app for like simps and tricks, and I think it would help a lot more. We'd probably be able to weed out most of the nonsense, and they can go and download that app and live their lives. Like, there's niggas on here that'll trick on you. There's simps on here that will literally do anything you say, knowing that you got a whole man at home, 4 kids, and you just look like an Instagram model, and they are down to give you their 401k because you sent them pictures of your toes or some shit. There's somebody for that. However, the people that are looking for that Love Jones kind of vibe, like that the '90s love, that's something that I've always been seeing on social media lately, and for the last couple of years. Everybody wants a '90s love. Even the music now is going back with that '90s vibe. They're sampling so much '90s and early 2000 music that gives that nostalgic feel of, yeah, a relationship is a good thing, but it's about finding a good one. I just think with social media and with these dating apps that are supposed to be a help, or they're supposed to help the situation, And you know they got the side niggas. You know they got the side niggas. The fact of the matter is people are doing stuff for likes. They want their girl to look like what they see on social media instead of looking for the person that looks for the them, and not just the physical them, their spirit, their aura, their vibe, that whatever word that you want to use that's trending these days, but just the genuineness of finding a true person. You're not gonna have a high success rate finding that on social media. Dating apps specifically, but I think even through social media, it has to be the rarest case that you'll find your person sliding in a DM. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm also saying there's so much ego, there's so much pride, there's so much attention needing people out there that you sliding into their DM is just it's like when Mario eats the fucking mushroom and it just bloop, 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 and gets bigger. It's that. It's not anything that's feeding them substance of saying, all right, I want to go get to know that person. I want to actually go and say, yo, I'm going to give this person, I'm not going to say my undivided attention, because again, you still have your life to live. You're still doing your own thing. You got a job. You got all these things. But if you're opening yourself up to the dating world, right? Do not half-ass that, because especially if you meet somebody that's not half-assing it and they're dating with intent, they're dating with a purpose, they would like to start their journey toward finding their person to start the rest of their life with. Men and women, like, let's stop the nonsense. Let's stop the stupidity, the going back and forth and y'all wrong, y'all wrong. Now, all of us are wrong. There's some people that are just much more healed to be able to go through the process. And by healed, mean that you know how to love yourself. You know the things that you want. You know your standards. You know what you're prepared for. So you're also treating somebody how you want to be treated. Now, those that are not doing those things, y'all fucking up this pool. Those that it's about a cash grab, you're fucking up the pool. Those that just trying to get they rocks off, you're fucking up the pool. Those that just want to get their egos stroked, you're fucking up the pool. All right? You're fucking it up. Some people just want companionship. Some people want a relationship. Some people just want situationships. To each his own. Don't be wasting people's time. And I think the biggest thing that happens on dating apps is time wasted. Because you'll swipe, you'll swipe right, and probably give that person, let's say on an average, you give the person a good 3 months of your life. That's a quarter of the year. You could do a lot with a quarter of the year. Some people become millionaires in a quarter of a year. Some people establish businesses, finish a semester of school. Just get to it. Do not be a distraction in that person's life. If you know you're on this app and you're not really looking for something intentional, you're not really trying to lock down and be in something that you're willing to nurture, you're willing to water this plant, you're willing to give it the sunlight it needs, and shit. Even I heard people talk to their plants and shit. So if you're willing to sit down and talk to this motherfucking plant, man, don't waste nobody time. Like, I'm watching the show on Netflix right now. It's called Nobody Wants This. And what is it? Kristen Bell. She's in it. She's done a couple of movies. She's a couple of movies. I ain't IMBD. I ain't gonna sit here and name all her movies. But she done a couple. So Google her. Like I told you, I Google people. That's what I'm gonna do. So I Googled, and Nobody Wants This, right? Funny show. It's about I'm gonna give y'all a brief synopsis. Rabbi just got out this joint with his shorty, because off the rip, shorty wild out. Like, Rabbi was gonna, propose to her. Shorty found the ring, put the ring on, and was cleaning the crib. And Rabbi looks at the ring, her left hand, and is like, "Yo, sweetheart, what's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I know you had it. I was cleaning up. I seen it." And I was like, oh, damn, he's about to propose. So you know what? Let me help him out and put the ring on. I did it for you. We was going to do it anyways. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. She wilded out. So he breaks up with her. Boom. He's outside, bumps into a joint, and off the chemistry, just the chemistry, he's genuine. Just having the conversation. Off the conversation, he's being chivalrous, being a gentleman, all that. She walks into this house party. They're talking to each other, boom. And she was told, like, yo, there's going to be a rabbi and an author there. She thought he was the author, right? He just so happens to be the rabbi. When you get a chance, if you want to, hop on Netflix. Nobody Wants This. I recommend. I'd say 8 out of 10. Dating apps, again, plus minus, heavily on the minus side. I wouldn't recommend. However, for those that do utilize dating apps, cool. How come there's the predetermined hookups? The Muslim faith, from time to time, will, oh, I found you your person. The Jewish faith, I found you your person. Or they tend to set it up or alley-oop it, like from the parental side, right? I know in the Caribbean culture, it's not as big of a practice. There's still the form of, they're very heavily judgmental. That's just what the Caribbean does. However, the setup factor is not something that traditionally I've experienced or I've seen, unless somebody needs some papers. But that's just what that is. However, shout out to everybody that just popped in on Instagram. This is It's Not Just Me podcast. I'm just live on Instagram right now. If you want to give us a call, 929-324-1244. And we're just talking about dating apps, and we're transitioning into dating in general, and more so traditional dating, and how we as Caribbeans, we don't get set up, right? Our parents don't set us up for our person, if you will. They'll just judge the persons that we bring home. Um, but do y'all think that would be something that would kind of be better? Like that they kind of like pair us up, or like there's no dowries anymore. There's no, well, we're marrying into this family and we're going to have this much fortune and blah blah blah. I would love to marry into a golden crust empire, if you will, or maybe a tropical jerk empire, or maybe of a good taste empire, or whatever the case. I'm kidding. But we don't do that, right? However, in the East Indian culture, they do, right? Uh, the Jewish culture, the Jewish faith, they tend to, kind of do the setup thing. Indian faith, same thing. They kind of try to do the setup thing. And sometimes, it's hit or miss. But there's a lot. I would say there's a bigger uh, marriage rate, or a relationship rate, or couples, if you will, within those cultures, because I think that's something that's kind of put out there, like that's part of their culture, that's part of what they do, and they stuck to tradition, if you will. Now, does that help for better dating? I think, to each his own. I don't think so. Also, I feel like that you should still be able to find your person. But again, I think they don't even, I don't think they're really like utilizing social media and doing the statistics and saying all that and saying, okay, well, this young lady's better for you and this young man, he's good for you and this, that, and the third. No, they possibly still go outside and interact with each other. That, I think the biggest thing that we're missing is we're no longer interacting with each other. We're no longer doing the things that we were accustomed to doing, or we grew up seeing, like people going out and bumping into somebody and saying, "Hey, let's have a conversation," or "Hey, would you like to go out for some drinks?" or "Would you like to go out to eat?" Yes, it's a much different time that we live in. It's Mr. Moto, and this is not It's Not Just Me podcast. I want to thank my sponsors, Camp What About Us. If you've never been to a dope adult summer camp, this is the summer camp you got to go to. All right, I'm not even kidding. This is your chance now to experience that. All right, so tap in campwhataboutus.com. It's going to be June 13th to June 15th this year, 2025. Make sure you're there. Oh man, it's going to be a movie. Just being intentful is what we were talking about. Knowing exactly what you want while when you're out there trying to find your person. I think dating apps can be a positive thing, but right now it's just with dating apps, you got so many options. You see so many. Like for every 35 left swipes or swiping no, you probably get like one or two people. In order for it to actually work, one, they need to mitigate the options. Knowing exactly what you're looking for is important. Allowing yourself to get distracted by all the options that are on social media and especially on these dating apps is what really throws us off, because people really think like they play the option game, and we're all victim of liking somebody that isn't really the person for us, right? And it's really one of those things where we kind of do ourselves a disservice by doing that. You're chasing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And you got to be realistic about yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the world that we live in, it's a superficial world. We want the nicest things. We want the nicest looking people, blah, blah, blah. But one person might not think you're the nicest looking person. But there's somebody for you that's going to see you as a 10. But I think we be trying to find those 10s that ain't even looking at you. And especially in this day and age, there's so many beautiful people out there with like the ugliest souls. Their aura is trash. It just tarnishes what the person that they can be. Like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, looks is one thing, but what else? Right? And there's so much burnout from this dating app. Like Gen Z doesn't even deal with the dating apps. They're tired of it. Now, is there truth behind it? Hard to say. Again, so these dating apps don't put out much of the data of their success rates or their fail rates. That would mess with their bottom line. Why would they want to do that? They're able to get tons of marketing on their apps, got tons of followers and tons of users rather on their apps, and you got some people that are actually paying these ridiculous dating app fees. I know for damn sure I'm not paying no dating app fee. That's for damn sure. I ain't gonna front. During COVID, when they was giving us a little bit of that free money, yeah, I splurged a little bit of a little $7.99 on BLK on Black. Yeah, I did that just to see who was liking. And again, quality over quantity. Quantity was high, quality was piss poor. You know, the numbers, not the quality in itself. We just didn't click. Either they were, perfect, but they were also those ones that they have like 15,000 followers, so there's a million people swiping right on them. So it's like they'll get to you when they get to you. Like what? This is, again, the options game. Nobody should be anybody's option. When you meet that person and you have that connection and that vibe and it makes sense, that person should not be an option to you. That person should be prioritized. Not should be a priority. Should be prioritized to fit within the mold of your life. If you see that person being there for a extended amount of time, if not permanently. But a lot of the times what occurs is we play the option game and you think that person will be around when you're ready. Men and women, men and women. I can't even say if who does it more. I can't say who does it more. But it's the complaint of many people out there like I don't feel this person is ready for me right now. And sometimes they might not. But be an adult and let that person know that. You're not prepared for the things that you asked for. That one I could say, not for nothing. ladies, y'all could take the championship on that one. Y'all ask for something. Y'all ask for the man that y'all want. Y'all ask for, I need this man to be able to do this, 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 and this, and this, and a little bit of that, and some of this right here. And when it's all said and done, that's the guy that I want. And boom, you get him. And then y'all go running in the opposite direction because it's too real. The reality of you got the thing that you asked for, and now you got to be able to dish it out. Reciprocity. You require from one person a certain standard, that person delivers on that standard. Now you're faced with, damn, I got to deliver. I can't be mediocre. And if you're still in your mediocre stage, you gonna flop. And I'm speaking from my own experiences. Cognitive opinion. I've experienced it. I've looked at it from the perspective. Sometimes I probably wasn't even prepared to be the dude that wants to deliver all that and be, yo, I'm ready. And the reality, I probably wasn't. But being that I had an affinity for the person that I may have been dating at the time, and I was willing to do all the things that was required, I probably was blinded and didn't pay attention that, wait, you're doing everything and you're not even possibly in the position to do everything, but this person's not even giving you a quarter of the energy that you're giving. The fuck are you doing here? You're wasting energy, bro. Go fix yourself first. Get yourself right. Get yourself in order. Know the things that you truly want. Know what you could truly provide. And then find the person that fits that. But that's mitigating your losses. You don't want to waste time. Time's the one thing we don't get back. We can get money back. We can get a whole ton of shit back. You might even get the membership subscription fee back if you complain enough. But time though, swiping left, swiping right, just to be wasting time. I think dating apps is, I ain't gonna lie, a curse. I know one friend that met his wife off of a dating app. One. And I got a good amount of friends. One friend that met his wife off of a dating app. The success rate, 300 million Americans, 10% can say they're married, living with their partner, or in a committed relationship. Nobody even wants to say that they're in a committed relationship these days. And that's the topic for another day, because there's going to be more than one episode of Nah, It's Not Just Me, because I know it's not just me thinking these things, man. I know it. Shout out to everybody that, went on Instagram Live and commented. And when we go on Instagram Live, I encourage everybody to be on live. You hear the topic and you want to call in and chime in, do that. Because I'm going to talk to you. That's what we're doing over here. Nah, It's Not Just Me. We talking. Let's talk about it. And make sure you check out my reaction videos, man, on my Instagram reels, at the real DJ Mr. MoTo. Check them out, man. It's MoTo. Nah, It's Not Just Me. The podcast / radio show. Don't worry, I'm going to have some music for y'all. And listen, if you're an independent artist and you have some dope music, I'm a DJ. I'm going to talk to y'all and y'all going to talk to me. We're going to have some dialogue. We're going to talk about some real stuff. And we're going to talk about the things that we know for certain. I'm not the only one thinking about it. I know it's not just me. You know what I'm saying? So tap in. You already know what it is. It's MoTo. I'm out of here, man. Peace.